Welcome to the Gridiron. Fantasy. Football. It's the Gridiron. Well, welcome to the Gridiron.
Welcome to the Gridiron.
We just made that title sequence, so hope you enjoyed.
Yep.
This is what, episode 8?
Episode 8.
Cool. No kids.
Just men.
Men with mustaches. And let's jump right into it. Less of a script today. Let's talk about some of the recent activity that's been happening in the league.
Let's do it. Do you mind looking down at maybe Monday, Tuesday?
Yeah. A lot has happened this week. Let's go back to
Tuesday.
Yeah.
I guess this kind of highlights sort of a big thing that happened this week.
Yeah.
Breece Hall, done for the year.
It sucks too because I was predicting Aiden was going to rise dramatically, and he pulled off, what's that, 2-3 wins in a row?
2 wins in a row, I believe.
Now we're playing this week, and it's rough to lose what seemed like a top 10 running back in the league.
Yeah.
So we see him dropped here. It's the right move. He's out.
Totally.
Drop him.
Sony Michel gets the axe from Travis. Yeah, he's not the guy.
Even if Eckler went down, I don't know if you ever start Sony Michel. So
they have too many backups behind Eccles.
Yeah, Gabe.
This was an anger drop. Nick Folk ruined my win, so I was pretty mad at him.
Yeah, 2 points and a bunch of interceptions on drives where they could have scored at least a field goal.
I know.
Super frustrating.
And Nico Collins also leaves the roster because Texans just don't put enough points to me to consider their wide receiver 2 or 3 for a start.
No, even Brandon Cooks hasn't really been startable.
Yeah. A little bit of Rex Burkhead droppage from Eli. I think he's been on 3 or 4 rosters now.
Do we want to look at Rex Burkhead real quick?
Take a quick peek.
He's been jumping around. Okay.
Drafted by AJ. Luke dropped a bunch of fab
to grab him.
Tate then picked him up. Joe then picked him up. Luke picked him back up. Eli picked him back up, and now he's back on the waivers. So
yeah, and he hasn't been started once. So he's been an expensive, useless piece.
Yeah, he's been bouncing around pretty
like a beach ball at a Nickelback concert. I'd mark a bunch of things likely to trade, so we don't got to talk about that.
Kayla drops Boone and Warren, 2 backup running back. Well, Boone's hurt. Warren, it's just the Steelers' offense. If they get going and Najee's out, that's unlikely.
I marked Foreman likely to trade, but maybe worth noting, kind of a nifty pickup last week when McCaffrey got traded. It seems like either Foreman or Hubbard might be worth the flex, so
yeah.
Let's see. Skelly, Tate drops Claypool. Kind of an interesting move because
Claypool sucks.
Yeah, he sucks, but
he's just a roster clog.
Who is he dropping him for? You know?
Tate, good job. Claypool's just a roster clog, and you'd never want to start him.
Yeah, and Falcons D is unstartable.
Yep.
And now let's get to the waivers. Who was added?
Paris Campbell. He looked pretty good. I'm surprised no one offered a single dollar for him.
Yeah, Campbell had 2 back-to-back weeks. Let's see if I can find that here. Boom.
Yeah.
2 big weeks, 15 and 18, and so,
I get the hesitation. No more Matt Ryan, so who knows what that offense looks like.
Sure, but also, potential room for excitement. Who knows what it looks like.
Jason grabs Keontae Ingram. He looked pretty good that Thursday night game.
Yeah, but that's with James Conner out. And
Yeah.
James Conner is presumably back in. And you can kind of see he has done literally nothing
he's
before
been
that.
a healthy scratch, I think, probably for those prior games.
And he didn't even do much this game besides the touchdown, and so...
It's true, the touchdown did help him.
He's rostered in 1% of leagues.
I like it, Jason, though. Shoot for the stars.
I don't like it. I think it's a bad move. Vikings D. Sure, you're streaming Ds. You pick up a D this week.
Yeah.
Gabe, you snagged Jameis.
I already dropped him, but yeah. I was
Okay.
I'm not sold on Carr. I'm just looking for a new answer, I would say.
Sure. Oh, I like this right here. I like this a lot.
AJ snags the Hawks.
Hawks D.
Go Hawks, man.
Go Hawks. Nothing to say other than go Hawks.
Sam grabs Elijah Moore. I think that's pretty interesting considering Elijah Moore is looking to be on the outs. in New York.
It is. Sam likes to listen to fantasy football podcasts where they give you crap advice, saying, "Oh, Elijah Moore wants to be traded. Pick him up before the trade deadline. Blah blah blah. Maybe he goes to a good team." Regardless, he's not really rosterable. And Corey Davis being hurt, maybe. But they play some tough defenses. Denver, New England, Buffalo coming up.
Elijah Moore has no value on the Jets. I think Sam only picked him up as a hopeful like trade piece. Not in fantasy, but like hoping he gets traded in real life, like to the Packers. Then he stumbles into some gold.
But then he still wouldn't start in his team. He has better receivers.
It's true.
So,
but you know, Sam, he'd like offer Elijah Moore for like Kamara and hope to get that through the line.
Yeah, you know, Sam.
Anyways,
dropping Nelson Aguilar. Yeah, finally. You should have dropped Aguilar a long time ago.
Luke.
And then picking up Landry. I actually like this. Landry's been hurt for weeks and weeks and weeks. He did great. He got dinged up.
He had a good week
dinged up. And now
he's an old receiver. He had a good week. I mean, there could be value, but it's hard to like find the right time to start.
Sure. Jason also added Shaheed.
He's had 3 touches and like all of them have gone for touchdowns. Seems a little risky, but
yeah.
Ingram and Shaheed, Jason, I like how you're just going for it.
Going for it is certainly a term. Tate adds Noah Fant.
The Hawks have 3 tight ends that they like to use. I don't know if one of them is going to be startable. It's kind of why we told Annie, like, not only that she had 3 Hawks, but Noah Fant isn't like an amazing tight end play.
No. Tyler Bass gets added back by Gramps.
Sure. I mean, he's a fine kicker. That offense puts up a lot.
I only thought when I thought about Tyler Bass was Buffalo gets windy, stormy, cold in the winter, so I wouldn't want to play him home games.
That's true. Yeah. It's going to look bad weather-wise.
Kind of lean towards indoor.
Ka'imi Fairbairn's an indoor kicker, but yeah, Tyler Bass is a good player.
Sure, he's great, but just, you know, make sure you know it's not raining or snowing. Dropped Caleb Huntley.
Yeah,
and then added Jermichael Hasty.
With James Robinson gone, he's the new number 2.
He totally is, and you never know how the load is spread. So
and injuries, yeah, it's a fine
handcuff. Fine handcuff. Gramps added Fields
for quite a bit of fab,
and then dropped Tanny.
I love it. Tanny doesn't run, so he has almost no value.
No, but Gramps has Justin Herbert, so it's a 1-week fill. I get it.
Herbert hasn't looked that good. You might want to flex in Fields.
Waller is hurt, so Trav adds Irv Smith. Totally get it.
And Njoku's down, so.
Diggler dropped McManus.
Yep. The Broncos offense just sucks.
Demons dropped Butker.
He's on bye this week,
and picked up Cade York. Disley gets added, and Bellinger gets dropped. So 2 Hawks tight ends. Commanders D gets added. I get that.
Yeah.
They've actually had a really good last 3 weeks.
And then I, like, a couple minutes ago, dropped George Pickens. If anyone wants him, go snag him. And I need a kicker, so I just picked up Mr. Greggy Joe.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's been happening. Actually, quite a bit of action.
A lot for, like, the last couple days.
And quite a bit of, like, small to medium fabs dropped. Yeah, a ton going on. A full page of roster activity.
Not usual for, like, this late into the season to have such a juicy waiver activity.
Totally unusual. And you'll see the other roster activity is, like, you go back weeks, like, name changes. And there's, like, I don't know. There's just not as much. Anyways, let's look at the matchups this week.
Do you want to go over last week real quick?
Sure.
Just
a quick
over
last
overview.
week real quick.
We're trying to keep this pod pretty short for y'all today, too. So,
yeah.
All right. Just a quick note. Tate, I mean, I think we talked about it, but you were on, like, bye week.
Yeah, you were missing Josh Allen.
You were missing your best player. So, and Sam, another great week, another top performance. You're looking great.
Sam is looking good. Ken Walker is looking really good.
Yeah.
It's really helps your team. Annie looking great.
Very similar kid scores, 98 and 96, Tate and AJ.
Yep.
Annie's another one of those top teams. AJ is not, and the score reflects that.
Totally. Kayla gets lucky here.
Kayla squeaks by. It came down to the very last Chargers drive. Eckler scored a TD on their last touch of the ball that game, and that got her the win. So
For 30.7 points. Note here that Pops' team,
yeah,
47, literally half of his points come from Joe Burrow. And then everyone else does diddly squat. So, Pops, your team is looking a little
suspect.
Dire in the straits, especially considering that now McCaffrey is going to fully put Jeff Wilson out of work.
Yeah. Gramps, I mean, we knew this game was going to be like...
Yeah.
The winner is probably undeserving, and it's true, because... interestingly, actually, Gramps had a tied score with Jason. I kind of wish they played to see what that looked like. But yeah, the winner of this game didn't really deserve it.
Actually, should we break this down? I think... the tiebreaker goes to bench points.
We don't need to do that.
Okay. Well, an interesting exact tie here.
Yeah. I don't see too many of those.
No, and then a really close game here. We already...
Yeah, it came down to the kicker, unfortunately.
That and Tua threw an interception at the end of the game. I mean...
It was a fun matchup. Aiden, well played.
Yep. Jason puts up nothing, and Trav has just a solid game.
Yep. We knew Jason was going to be terrible looking at his roster, like his starting lineup last week, and
Zeke finally gets it going. I think McCaffrey's going to be real dangerous moving forward.
Yeah.
And
maybe a surprise score. Eli with 83, and the losing streak now continues. Eli has fallen twice in a row now, so
sure.
For the first time this season, he doesn't have the best record.
Yep. I'm not super surprised. The week before I had my two best running backs out, so wash that. And then this week I traded 3 starting players for
That's
a
true.
guy on bye.
Yeah.
If I had those 3 players, it would have been a lot closer.
Yeah.
My receivers put up a total of 3 points.
And the 2 you traded away did pretty good.
They scored a total of like 35. So
yeah, you would have lost this matchup even without that trade, but
sure, but I would have scored more. Like,
it would have looked better. Yeah,
over 100. So
short-term loss, long-term gain with Cup.
I got Cup, and I paid the price, and that's kind of the strategy I was thinking at 5-0. Like, you know what? I need to do something to like boost to the playoff potential.
Yeah, you've given yourself the chance to get to the playoffs now.
Getting first seed is out of your hands. Like, that's luck, and you're shooting for playoff strength. So
that you are.
That being said, Joe with Etienne and Chase is turning it up. Joe's team is looking stronger.
Very good. Very good.
Let's go check the standings real quick, because Gabe and I have discussed we might stop doing power rankings.
Yeah.
And we might just consider the standings the power rankings now, because we're officially halfway through the regular season.
At this point, wins and losses have kind of formed enough to show what teams are good and bad,
Yeah, and when I honestly looked at this, I actually pretty strongly agreed with the standings, other than a couple.
Yeah, but it's just like snip snap. It's not that big of a deal.
They kind of deserve to be where they're at based on points, and so we'll just quickly run through it. Kayla
number 1.
Number 1. Annie number 2, and I think we both agree with that.
Clearly.
Me at number 3. Honestly, I might put Sam ahead of me now.
Yeah.
But we'll see how my team looks with Cup, and if I get wins.
Totally.
Sam and I are already talking crap about our Week 10 matchup. We'll see.
Tate, he might slip a couple more games or in these coming weeks. His roster doesn't look that good to me.
I think when teams lose like 2 in a row, it's easy to see them as bad. Tate with Josh Allen could easily put up 150, and we'd be like, oh, Tate's great. So
yeah.
Fine here. Joe is rising.
Joe's rising. Jason, I think, is going to keep on falling. That roster just looks bad.
Agree.
We've said it all year.
I would honestly think with his running back problems, might continue to fall.
Yeah. Travis probably going up.
Travis probably
going up.
I see Gabe going up with Kamara back to full strength and Taylor getting it going.
I hope. Hopkins being back really helps my roster.
And Michael Thomas might come back too.
Yeah.
Aiden is confusing to me because his roster still looks startable. Like, Connor's back.
Connor's back. I don't know what Mike Williams is, but Brees Hall gone. That really hurts.
Oh, Mike Williams.
Mike Williams gone for at least maybe a little bit hurts.
You seem properly set here.
Aiden should be here, and I think these bottom 3 teams deserve it.
Agree. Although honestly, I'd put Gramps at the bottom, then Luke, then AJ, and we'll see if the wins reflect that. But yeah, moving forward, we're deep enough in. The standings are now the power rankings. If we look at the matchups for this week, we can look at people's potential to rise and fall in the standings based on wins and losses. We can see who can jump, who can not. Sometimes just based on who you're matched up against. Like if Kayla and Annie were matched up, well, someone's going to be 7-1. So we'll keep that in mind as we analyze this week's matchups.
Indeed.
First up, it's let me zoom out one click. Me versus Aiden. Mismatched records, and then
pretty
honestly,
close.
The projections are pretty close. Tua with a pretty juicy matchup against Detroit, although their defense has been playing better. It's actually interesting to me. Swift likely is back this week, and he's only projected at 11. Pierce, Sutton, Cup. Finally, I have Kelsey out. That actually really helps. But other than that, pretty solid matchups across the board.
Yeah, I think it's a total crapshoot, except for Aiden. Don't flex a tight end. Just do something to bench Kyle Pitts maybe and play Paris Campbell. You picked him up.
Probably played Paris Campbell. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I have the slight edge here, considering Connor's still questionable, Bateman questionable, just a little more strength, but I think this will be a close matchup.
I agree.
Missing Kelsey is a huge punch gone from my team, and then Swift has yet to prove it.
Honestly, I am going to call this for Eli right now just because of that double tight end flex. I think that's going to really hinder you. And you can get like 10 to 15 more points by switching that up.
I'm also looking forward to Eagles D versus Steelers. I think this is a mash, but Cowboys D versus Bears might be a mash too.
Put up 25, dude. They're amazing. All right, let's move on. Kid matchup.
The kids.
Probably the most anticipated matchup for these two since they joined the league.
Yeah.
And it's going to be fun. I don't think it's going to go in a unsurprising way. And by that, I mean, I think AJ is going to take another loss here.
Yeah, this is Tate's full strength team.
Yeah.
And they've gotten him to a higher record than AJ's full strength team. No big injuries, no big surprises. We'll see if Jacobs and Adams play. I think they're fine. I haven't seen anything.
Fine. That's veteran rest for you.
Derrick Henry could destroy Houston.
Even if he does,
Harris hasn't been getting that much of the load.
No.
Evans has been dropping touchdowns. Kittle has been looking a lot better.
Yes, he has.
And Kareem actually got a few more carries last week and scored. So, AJ, you got a chance, but I think Tate's team just looks a little stronger.
Yeah.
Let's take a note here real quick. AJ with a loss, you definitively stay at the bottom. Me with a win, the best I could do is tie at 6-2, and I don't think I could make up the points, and so I don't think I can retake the top here. And I think with a loss, AJ definitively stays at the bottom.
Even with a win, AJ at best ties the worst record.
Yeah, and I think he actually has more points than Gramps, and so yeah, AJ has a chance to move up from the bottom with a win.
Yeah. This is going to be a really good matchup.
Yeah, great matchup here. Two teams doing really well. The projection is 0.2 for Sam. Now,
which just means it's up in the air. Hard to call.
A win virtually guarantees Kayla the top spot. A win for Sam moves him potentially either level with me or in this no man's land where he'd be 5-3 and other people would be 6-2. So Sam either moves up to like the top 3 or he stays hovering at 4 or 5. If he loses, he could get lost in the pack, but he has a lot of points.
Yeah, there's kind of a middle that Sam seems to be like right on the top of.
You know, I think this comes down to, does Lamar
crush?
Get back to crushy Lamar?
Yeah.
He doesn't stay down for long.
Hopefully not. I love watching Lamar go ham.
And Tampa Bay's been letting teams like Pittsburgh and Carolina beat them.
Yeah.
But then again, Jalen Hurts is playing Pittsburgh.
I think it's too close to call, honestly.
Yeah, too close to call. Obviously Chubb better than Pollard, but obviously Walker better than Carter.
Yeah. Kayla's missing her number 1 or number 2 back on the year, Eckler. Maybe
big advantage here between Jefferson and Lamb, between St. Brown and Lazard.
Yep.
This is kind of a washed. Tanyan's actually been doing pretty good.
Yeah.
AJ Brown, well over Chris Olave. And then
defenses playing each other. That's always fun.
That is fun. And then solid kickers, and so, I think it comes down to, does Jefferson explode and does Lamar explode? And Kayla could retain the top with the win, or Sam could crawl towards the top. Amy, also in the same position as Kayla, she can crawl to an uncontested top with a win and a Kayla loss. There we go.
Luke, dude, 5 losses in a row. It's not looking good.
Not looking good. Although Annie is without the Chiefs this week. And that is a big deal for her team because of Mahomes.
And Clyde.
So, Brissett, I would worry about starting him. That's not a strong play.
I'm not worried for Annie whatsoever, dude.
Stevenson, this is rough against Buffalo. He's going to destroy Detroit. Fine, good, great.
Oh, yeah, DK. Have we had news on DK, how long he's going to be out?
Not how long, but we know he's not getting surgery, and it's basically when does his tendon strain calm down.
Okay.
DK said he wanted to practice Wednesday, and Pete Carroll was like, chill out.
A couple of weeks, probably.
Probably not this week is all we know. But he left it open. I haven't seen any updates today. But honestly, does that help Tyler Lockett?
Maybe.
Does it make it easier to pick between Lockett and DK?
Well, you play both of them. They're both putting up numbers. Honestly,
Luke's starting lineup isn't that terrible. And I think his trade might have actually helped his team. He has a startable RB2, wide receiver 2, flex wide receiver. I don't know if losing Cup helps his team or not, but last week it certainly helped.
Well, he would have lost either way. But yeah, Luke is just too weak all around. You have no one that can carry the load or like get you a 30. I don't see anyone on your roster getting 30 points.
Yeah. Oh, you're benching Montgomery? You got to find a way to play Montgomery. You play starting running backs when you have them, Luke. Like, play him over Singletary.
He's a starting running back.
I know, but then, like, move McLaurin up with Ayuk and then, I don't know.
I'd bench Jerry Jeudy with the backup quarterback again.
Actually, Russ said he's playing. I got the announcement today.
All right.
Against Jacksonville. Honestly, with Russ and Judy's, I don't know.
We don't know.
Luke,
you're going to lose.
We don't know how you're not going to lose.
All right.
A father-son duel, both sitting at 3 and 4. What?
Pops is starting both Minnesota running backs right now.
Yeah, well, it's because he has Wills, Drake, Hurt Mitchell.
I'd play Drake over Madison.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And if we jumped away from this real quick, let's just go look at the running backs on waivers right now. Yeah? Super fast. There's got to be someone better than your own handcuff. Yeah, J.D. McKissick. Honestly, Rex.
Pops, pick up and start Rex Burkhead.
Honestly, P-Rhyme. Like, you got to play someone else's.
Yeah. Because what? At best, a rushing attempt that went to Cook goes to Madison.
A kick returner. We know DJ's done nothing, but at least he returns kickoffs, you know?
Totally.
Yeah, purely based on that. Like, look at this. Okay, Joe Burrow better than Carr, sure.
Yeah.
Cook and Kamara, wash. You're playing Jonathan Taylor against Madison. Huge advantage. Honestly, Hopkins over Higgins at this point. Duvernay over Gallup. Gallup put up nothing last week, Pops.
Yeah.
Andrews has been questionable, although he's definitely better than Schultz. Although Schultz has been good. And then Robinson has been garbage. I'm questioning you playing more. I think you might want to slide Gibson in. You might want to...
I know. This flex spot isn't set, but
slide Robinson.
DJ Moore did look pretty good with the new quarterback. I know. I got 4 players I could start in that flex spot.
Yeah, maybe think about that a little more, but you're going to win this game. Moving on. Oh God, look at that projection difference. Oh man.
Cramps is starting a backup running back in Jermichael Hasty. That's bad. He's starting a backup receiver on that same team in Zay Jones.
Yeah, and he's
starting the rookie backup wide receiver in New England, Tyquan Thornton.
Yeah.
Can you get more worse than this? And he's starting Justin Fields. That is really sad.
He's Cam Akers.
Gramps, you have to play A.J. Dillon over Jermichael Hasty. You have to.
Or you're gonna
Or
lose.
over Tyquan Thornton.
You're gonna lose regardless. McCaffrey, Barkley, Elliott,
Insane.
Godwin, Myers, Waller, or Irv. Trap's team just looks strong, and he's gonna get the win.
Easy. Joe.
It's going to Joe.
Easy. Yeah. Taysom. And, I mean, I get Taysom's not really a tight end.
I kind of like playing Taysom here, but like Deontay sucked. Khalil's a backup.
Khalil is backup. And
That's all that needs to be said. 2 giant holes.
Yeah.
And Joe's hole was filled admirably by Etienne.
Etienne, man.
And
What
then
a baller.
Algier scored a touchdown, and that's all you need from your like fill-in while Cordero's out. So
Yeah.
we hope for Joe that Goddard starts to turn it up. Yeah. I don't know. Joe's team's way better, and Shaheed and Ingram aren't gonna help. Man. Some kind of clear, like, looking like people are gonna win and lose.
Yeah. And there's some really tight, close matchups, it looks like. And it's going to be a fun week.
I'd say, like, this is a close matchup,
Totally.
and this is a close matchup.
Absolutely.
The rest kind of look like blowouts this week.
I would say myself and Pops is probably close if he fixes his start-sit decisions.
Maybe, but Gallup
And Madison, take him out. Robinson's fine.
Is he? Is he fine? Look at this.
Yeah.
Spurts and nothing. Yeah, he's fine.
Exactly.
Sure.
Exactly. He's fine.
Well, is that going to do it for us?
I think it might be.
Well, this has been the Gridiron.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for listening in. I
guess just a note, we're looking to grow the podcast, so like if you have a YouTube account, definitely if you can, like log in and subscribe to the channel.
It helps.
If you have friends that like fantasy, I guess I'll just share our plan for growth real quick. Next year we're gonna start the season as more of a drama. So we're gonna like introduce everyone, do episodes, introduce the history of the league. We're gonna take it a little more seriously. For now, we're just going to be honing our craft, but you'll notice our new intro and outro videos. But
Yeah. We're
please-
trying to up the production quality
yeah,
to like hit those levels that gets more people involved, I
yeah,
guess.
makes it easy for someone outside the league to start watching the episodes and buy in. So share with us your
Yeah.
ideas.
And I think the reason why we're doing that is it's fun to talk to everyone in the league, but it's more fun, I guess, for us doing this if it's like for a larger audience.
And this is the best fantasy football league in the world, hands down, and people should be interested in how it's going. So yeah, make sure you do the YouTube actions, you like and subscribe. And then if you have friends, totally share it with them and let them know we're doing this thing.
Yeah. Also, if you miss all the graphs that I usually make, I think next week I'll be back with some more. I just
Yeah,
have to,
We'll get the kids back.
since we're done with power rankings, I got to think of some more things to like highlight. I just didn't have the time this week.
Yeah, and it took some time to make the intro outro. So yeah, thanks for listening. This has been the Gridiron. This has been the Gridiron. The Gridiron. AJ. The Gridiron. The Gridiron. Luke. Gramps. Sam. The Gridiron. Aiden. Gabe. The Gridiron. The Gridiron. The Gridiron. Travis. Aaron. Jason. The Gridiron Podcast. Gabriel Grady and Elijah Grady. Jason, Joe, Tate. New episodes streaming weekly. Eli, Annie, Kayla. Make sure to like and subscribe. The Gridiron.